In addition to the main event, Dimitri's put together a terrific fight card featuring some of Michigan's best prospects. In addition to representing Flint, Michigan, we've got Dearborn and Grand Rapids, and each of these fighters are going to help make this first ever event at Little Caesars Arena historic and memorable. These fierce competitors will add to the great legacy ingrained in Detroit's rich boxing history for those who have come before them. Numerous champions who have trained locally at the Kronk Gym and Detroit Boxing Club and have fought at Olympia Stadium, Cobo Arena, Joe Louis Arena, the Palace at Auburn Hills, and now Little Caesars Arena. I'd like to thank Claressa for her Night of 1,000 Stars initiative, partnering with Kronk Boxing Gym and the Emmanuel Stewart Champions of Tomorrow. Claressa stepped up to provide free tickets to 14 local programs that provide various youth services in the two cities of Detroit and Flint, Michigan, providing 1,000 tickets to youth in these two cities to attend the fight on Saturday night. You definitely inspire and give hope to many people out there. Thanks for not forgetting where you came from. Claressa's really gone above and beyond to promote her homecoming and for her to give back to many people who are often overlooked. We look forward to a great crowd, and the city will be abuzz with boxing, as well as the Detroit Grand Prix. So it's a big weekend in Detroit. For anybody who hasn't gotten their tickets, who want to know how to get tickets, go to 313presents.com. It'll be a historic night, and we're excited that you'll all be a part of it. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Howard. Detroit has been a meeting place for sports and culture. Motown Records, Kronk Boxing Gym. We have some notable people here in the crowd from Motown Records that are going to perform this night. I'd like to invite them up to the stage. Top 4 group, Mr. Duke Fakir, Lawrence Payton Jr., Ronnie Manier, and Alexander Morris. Please come up. The Four Tops group will be performing the national anthem right before the fight, right before the main event.
Okay. They're looking sharp. Okay. Who would have matched her outfit for today? They would look good in that picture. You can tell when they have any little shit on. She wanted to do my stupid Facebook. Yeah, you went on Instagram? Oh, yeah, she went on Instagram. I said that president. What you want?
This is going to be a historic night of boxing, and Claressa Shield has opened the door for Michigan and Detroit talent to be seen on a worldwide scale. This card is going to feature some of the best talent in the world of boxing right here from Detroit and state of Michigan. I'd like to list some of the names on the card and some of their matchups. Detroit cruiserweight Vernon Weber is going to fight Fernand Madia. U.S. national champion from Grand Rapids, Michigan, Joshua Pagano, who's undefeated at 6-0, is going to take on his toughest fight of his career. Again, Ronell Barnett, who's 9-0. In the Detroit crosstown fight, Marlon Harrington, who's here, trained by Jay Hernandez, from World's Best Boxing Gym, is going to fight Gate Kareem Mohammed from the Prong Boxing Gym, who's also right here. I'd like to invite both Marlon and Gate to come up here.
Hold this real quick. It's her Instagram.
We also have Deval Smith from the Prong Boxing Gym on the front. I'd like to have Deval to come up here as well.
Yeah, no, I'm at the conference. I don't know. You said when he get off work. But they talking about the permits and music. They on here bad like this. You're not fighting him. They said that on there?
They talking about she not fighting Hannah no more.
Doors open at 5 p.m. The first fight is going to be at 6 p.m. The first televised fight on the card is going to feature Joseph Hicks, who's a U.S. Olympic team captain at 6-0, fighting his most challenging fight of the career against Antonio Todd. And I want to talk about the co-main event. The fighters are here. The city of Flint has produced some of the best fighters in the sport of boxing, such as Chris Bird, Claressa Shields, the Durrell brothers, and many believe that Adriel Holmes Jr. is the next guy in line for that title. Adriel is 13-0. He's going to fight for the USBA title, fighting against Wendy Toussaint in the most challenging fight of his career. Wendy Toussaint is here from New York City. He's had some significant wins in his career. Wendy, why don't you come up and talk about it?
Next to coach. Oh, okay. I wonder why you're really back there.
Hello everyone. Thank you, and I'm happy to be here. And I know my opponent is a very tough opponent, but this is nothing new to me. So see you soon.
Adriel Holmes is a multi-time national champion. He's had several significant wins on national television on Showtime, and he is the perfect guy to be one of the fighters to be opening up Little Caesars in the city of Detroit for big-time boxing. I'd like to invite Adriel to say something.
Not ready to take a picture.
How you doing, everybody?
Oh my bad,
I
y'all.
don't really got a lot to say. I'm just happy everybody came out. I'm happy Detroit get the watches, Flint get the watches. You know, this is pretty much a Michigan thing. It's a Michigan card, and we all gonna show out. So, you know, I don't do that much talking, so y'all see you on June 3rd.
For sure.
Last week, when we got the news that Hannah Gabriels failed the drug test, we had to find the best available opponent out there. In boxing, there's a saying, when you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. And the first person we called, because we went from the top of the list, normal contender, Maricela Cornejo, he said, you made my dream come true. I've been dreaming about this opportunity for a long time. She comes from a great training camp, trained by Ismail Sales, who trains many world champions. I'd like to invite Maricela to say a few words about the fight. Come on, Maricela.
Hello. First of all, I want to say glory to God and thank you so much for this opportunity. Yeah, like you said, they gave me a call, and I was getting ready for another fight on June 6th, which was 3 days after this scheduled fight. So we were coming to an end of the camp. This wasn't a last minute call for me on my end because I'm always ready. I'm always staying in the gym. I think Claressa knows as well. I'm always in the gym. I stay in the gym. I live, eat, breathe boxing. It's not a part-time job that I take it, you know. So I'm ready for this opportunity, and there's no excuses come Saturday night. And Claressa has done so much for the sport of boxing, as well as so many women before her, and everybody in the sport is trying to do our part, big or small. Our responsibility is to just make a difference in the sport. So that's what we're gonna do, and she needs a good dance partner to be able to do that. She can't do it on her own. So when they called, I said, hey, I'm ready to dance. So June 3rd, we'll be dancing.
In the boxing community, Claressa's manager, Mark Taffet, is a name that needs no introduction. He and his company, Mark Taffet Media, have been a huge part in making sure that this event is a success and that it's a really bona fide, big-time World Championship event. Mark Taffet has promoted some of the biggest fights in the sport of boxing, and it is my pleasure to introduce Claressa Shields.
Thank you. Good morning. As I said before, thank you to everyone for your magnificent support of this event and of all the fighters. It's a great night for Detroit and Claressa Shields and Flint, the whole state of Michigan, and the fight will be televised around the world on DAZN, D-A-Z-N, and it's going to be a great, great night for women's boxing, and it's going to continue to propel us further. A few people I want to thank first. I called my friend at Madison Square Garden, Joel Fisher, told him we were interested in going to Detroit, and he said, well, the only person you need to talk to is Howard Handler at 313 Presents. I met Howard. We instantly struck up a kinship and a friendship as though we'd been friends for 30 years, just like Joel. And I'm thrilled to have made the relationship. Howard and his team have been outstanding partners, hard workers. No matter what time of the day, night, weekend, holiday, you make the phone call, they're on the other end, or the text, new generation, they're there, wonderful staff. So I want to thank Howard for your hospitality, for your efforts. And I see Kim Klein is here, Jordan Walker. There's a list of 15 people I'd have to mention. I just see a few of them here now. But thank you all so much. You really made us feel welcome and made us want to come back again. So we appreciate you, and a hand for Howard and the staff, please. It's wonderful to have some friends here. As you know, this event is about Detroit. It's about big-time boxing returning to Detroit, one of America's greatest boxing cities in history. Tommy Hearns, Hilmer Kempty, among others. Joe Louis, heavyweight name Joe Louis, had a few fights here. Emmanuel Stewart, my great friend and brother, who I worked with for so many years at HBO, the Kronk Gym. I miss Emmanuel so much, and I was thinking about him so much the past few days. I showed Dimitri last night a photo from about 20 years ago of a much younger me and a always looking the same and great Emmanuel Stewart. And it really brought some tears to my eyes and some great memories back. So Emmanuel, to you, and I know you're here with us and you're going to be with us Saturday night, so thank you. And I want to thank Jeff Stiers, the CEO of Kronk and Escott, the Emmanuel Stewart champions of tomorrow, Brett Heflin, John Lepak. They stepped up and they made it possible for a lot of those kids Saturday night to get here, not only for their support for Kronk and Escott, but by putting their money where their mouth is. They're bringing kids here, they're buying tickets for a lot of the kids, and they really deserve a hand because that's the heart and soul of Detroit, people who do things like Jeff Stiers. Jackie Callan. I met Jackie Callan in 1991. She was about 4 years old. I was 32. And Jackie walked in with a young man named James Toney, who was a pretty decent middleweight fighter. And we debuted HBO pay-per-view with Holyfield versus Foreman. The very next month, we had one of the greatest fights we had in our entire history. And that was James Toney against Michael Nunn under the 5 bridges of Davenport, Iowa. That was my boxing field of dreams, and it was quite a place to be. And Jackie, like she still is today, she's a force to be reckoned with. You don't do right by Jackie, you don't get to take your second or third step. It's just the way it goes. She's wonderful, she's a dear friend, and Jackie, please stand up. This city, we recognize you, and we thank you so much for all your efforts. I was telling one of these 4 gentlemen sitting back here that when I was a newlywed, my wife and I went and saw a group called the 4 Tops. And I'll never forget that night, and it means so much to me to have them here today, to have Duke here, to have Lawrence Jr. here, to have the others with us. I thank Janet, their manager, who's been so helpful. If you're going to do a show about Detroit, you have to talk about Motown. I mean, Clarissa's been calling this the throwdown at Motown, and there's a lot of truth to that. And to the four of you, I thank you so much for being a part of this, for singing the national anthem. Couldn't be more beautiful and more meaningful. You know, you represent a lot of the history and culture in this country and in music. And to have you sing the national anthem is going to be a beautiful, special moment, not only in the arena, but on national TV. That national anthem is going to be heard around the country and around the world. And thank the four of you very much. So now to business. First, I want to thank Maricela, Cornejo, Nancy Rodriguez, my dear friend of many years. Interestingly, we had a conversation many months ago about Maricela fighting Claressa, and it just didn't work out. There's always reasons why timing isn't right and circumstances aren't right. But when we made the phone call a few days ago, Maricela was more than ready. I'm thrilled that she stepped up. This is a phenomenal opportunity for her, and she knows it. When she told me her weight, I gulped because I realized that she actually could go out and eat some hamburgers and still make weight. So Maricela is more than ready. She's Mexican. I did fights with a lot of great Mexicans over the years at HBO. Mexicans come to fight, Mexicans come to win, Mexicans don't back down, and Mexicans don't go down. So that's the kind of challenge we wanted for Claressa Shields Saturday night. This is not a replacement fight. This is, in many respects, an upgrade. We've got the #1 ranked contender in the WBC, the WBO, and the IBF. We had to think twice, but Claressa said, "Get me the best." That was the line she said. As soon as she heard the results from the VADA test with Hannah, she said, "Go get me the best." I'm thrilled. I thank you, Maricela. As I always do, I wish you the best. I don't say good luck. What happens in the ring happens in the ring. Good luck is not for those who are ready. So we wish for a safe, healthy bout. One thing I do want to say, though. So Maricela, I heard you say yesterday that you were so interested and anxious to do this fight that you would have done it for $5. Now, we paid you significantly more than that. I'd like to know if we could send that agreement back to you, or should we stick with the one we have? I guess we'll stick with it.
No hablo inglés.
That actually was one of the reasons why the bout didn't consummate a few months ago. Maricela's a pretty good negotiator, but I love and respect that, because when you talk about the women in women's boxing, not only do they fight the best, and they insist on fighting the best, they also stand up for what's right and for themselves. There's a lot of greats. Quickly as this young woman, Claressa Shields.
All right. Say it again. Say it again.
No man
All
has
right.
ever held undisputed world championships in two weight divisions at the same time.
Okay. You better say it, Mark.
And it will happen. We got a few more weight classes, but there will come a day soon where Claressa will do again what no man has ever done, and she will become an undisputed champion in a third, perhaps a fourth weight division. That depends on how long she wants to keep plying her tools. But there's never been one before like her. I don't know if there's ever going to be one after, whenever that day comes.
Not ever.
I remember the day she said, "We're going to trademark GWOAT, greatest woman of all time." And I said, "I really admire that." Well, I have to say, as I stand here today, a number of fights down the road, I don't just admire it, I really believe it. I've seen a lot of great fighters through my 25-year history at HBO. I put Floyd Mayweather, Roy Jones, and Claressa Shields at the top of the list. of the three most talented, God-given talented fighters I've ever seen. Claressa trains like Floyd Mayweather. Claressa trains all day and all night. There's never a day she says, I can't do it, I'm not gonna get up and do it. She doesn't have to do this. The reason we have 1,000 kids coming Saturday night is Claressa Shields has said to me many times, I was saved by the gyms, the clubs, and the youth organizations that were available to me as a child, that took me off the streets, gave me a place to go, gave me a place to have a sense of purpose and to feel good about myself. I was saved by that. And that's what inspired she and I to have the conversation about A Night of 1,000 Stars, because she puts her money where her mouth is. She's gonna show those kids why you should stand up and stand tall. I saw her yesterday. She took a photograph at the media workout yesterday. It brought tears to my eyes. There were 2 young African-American kids, girls, and they walked up and took a picture with her. And one of them told Claressa that she was going to be a fighter and she wanted to be. Claressa gave her this beautiful purple WBC belt that she won in memory of the Queen of England when she passed, and Claressa beat Savannah. And Claressa gave that belt to that young girl, and she said, hold this over your head, and the girl held it up. She said, no, over your head, and the girl lifted it, and she said, now I want you to say, what were the words?
I'm the greatest.
I am the greatest. And the girl said, I'm the greatest. She said, no, I want to hear it like you mean it. By the 4th time, Claressa was screaming, and the little girl screamed it louder than she did. And Claressa said, that's it, now you got it, you feel it from your head to your toe, and that's how you become the greatest. And that is who Claressa Shields is. Yeah, she likes to dress up, she likes to get her hair done, she likes to go out and have fun, she likes to dance, she likes to sing. I think she likes going to the gym too. At the end of the day, at the core of that young lady, is the kid from Flint, Michigan, who said, I'm gonna make it. No one's gonna say no, and one's gonna stop me. I'm gonna bring every young woman in the world with me. I'm gonna lift women's boxing. We're gonna create equality for women in the sport of boxing and throughout women's sports. And like Billie Jean King and Muhammad Ali before her, she transcends her sport and she stands for something big. She's also done a few good things in the ring. Undefeated. Her fights are just magnificent. You watch them and she fights the best. Her opponents have a record of somewhere along the lines of 180, now we have to add Maricela in there, 200 wins and 4 losses. And Claressa has gone through them like they barely stepped in the ring. She's just that good. It is a beautiful piece of art to watch. So, enough said. Let me introduce to you the one, the only, greatest woman of all time, and my dear friend, Claressa Shields.
Hello everybody, thank y'all for being here. It means a lot to me. I want to thank God first for this huge opportunity. I want to thank Little Caesars for thinking of me. I want to thank my team, Demetrius Leader, Mark Taffet, my coach, Coach John, he over in the corner, and everybody who has believed in me from the start. You know, when I had got the call about Little Caesars, it was really like a slim chance that we would get a chance to fight here. And I just remember having a talk with Mark, and he was saying, like, you know, we may have to go back to the UK and do a rematch with Savannah Marshall on the undercard of, I think, Chris Liam and Chris Eubank or something like that. Liam Smith and Chris Eubank. And I was like, I'm not fighting no undercard, but no dudes that don't got no titles. And what I'm gonna do that for? And they were offering us a lot of money to go back over there, but I just was like, nah, I want to fight here in America. I want to defend my titles here. I already smoked Savannah Marshall in the UK. Why I got to go back over there? So he said, okay. And I said, I was like, maybe I'm thinking, you know, how about T-Mobile Arena? Let's go to Madison Square Garden. And he was like, Claressa, I could try. I said, well, you try then. You know, so you see, my job is to train and to stay in shape and to get ready. That's my only job in boxing. I don't deal with anything on the business side except for how much I will accept for a person and how much I want to. And yesterday's price is not today's price. So I was just super excited when they told me that the rematch would be with, you know, Hannah Gabriels. She just boasted about how she knocked me down. And I will say, during our first fight when I was 6-0, there was nobody testing. women's boxing has never been serious about body testing until I said something about it. And we didn't have body testing for that fight. So to see that she knocked me down that fight, and then to see that, you know, now she had tested positive for a banned substance, I mean, I can kind of put two and two together. And so I was very disappointed in her. And if she's watching, I have no respect for you, and clean athletes only, like myself. Now, on the flip side, we have a much younger, taller, and more savvy opponent in Maricela Cornejo. I just want to tell you, thank you. I'm gonna be nice to you right now. I want to say thank you for accepting the challenge, for coming here, you know, for fighting me. And I know that she's in shape. I follow her on Instagram. She's always in the gym, always training. And it's gonna be a real rumble in the jungle, a throwdown in Motown. So I look forward to it. I know you said, you know, you want to go out there and dance, but you're gonna be dancing by yourself because I came to fight. So she can do all the styles when she won doing there. But I came to fight in Detroit. I came to throw down. I come to show my skills. And I may not be from Detroit, but I'm from around the way. I'm from Flint, Michigan. And Flint, Michigan has the best fighters.
Yes.
Okay? And I can say that because I wear all the hardware. I got all the gold medals. And a lot of guys in Detroit, a lot of y'all won't get in the ring as far as me either. So, best boxers from Flint, Michigan, and Claressa Shields is one. Now, I just want to say, you know, shout out to just my beginnings. I want to thank my first coach who's here, Jason Crutchfield and Ed Kendall. Those guys, people think yes, give it up for them real quick because I get it all the time that I'm an athlete and that I'm just, I was born to box. And I can tell you, before I said I was the best boxer in the world, Jason Crutchfield had told me that. And he embedded that in me. And just my hard work, I was undefeated in the amateurs and had one loss, but Jason was never satisfied with the win. It was always something I didn't do right. So I keep that same thing in myself now. It's always something that can get done better. It's always a straighter right hand. It's always a sharper hook. It's always a better uppercut. It's always a better jab. So I just want to, you know, thank him because he taught me how to box. Only thing, I always had heart. I'm not scared of nobody. That's something that God put inside of me. But as far as in my boxing skills, I was taught how to jab, right hand, uppercut, hook, how to move my head by Ed Kendall because I used to get hit a lot at the beginning. And Jason definitely told me to, you know, not to fight the men and the guys at the gym that I was sparring with strength, but to beat them with skill. And so he taught me a lot, and I've learned things from other places, but my foundation comes from Burston Fieldhouse in Flint, and I just wanted to let him know that I didn't forget that, even though, you know, me and him don't really talk like that, but he's still one of the best coaches in the world, and I just wanted to shout him out for that, because that's where the both started, and we won our first Olympic gold medal together, okay? But y'all, it's fight week. I don't think there's much more that I can say. I think I've thanked everybody who I can thank. You know, I just thank my mom for always letting me do whatever I wanted to do. She wasn't hard on me at all. I come home like 2 o'clock in the morning, she didn't care. I want to thank my grandmother who raised me. I want to thank my dad who told me that his dream was to box. And now I can honestly say that, you know, boxing is changing. To be having this fight here, 15,000 fans in Detroit, you know, main event, the GWOAT, we don't get these kind of opportunities. So I'm just happy. I'm getting paid some good money. You know, if it's less than $1 million, you know I wasn't coming. So you can guess what the number is. And I'm just excited. And I'm happy to be having this fight. And I look forward to putting on a show and just showing that I'm the greatest once again against Maricela. So thank you guys for being here. Appreciate you. And I'll see you all June 3rd. Oh, and hopefully y'all come, you know, dressed up because today I think I'm best dressed.
Make it. So I'd like to invite his representative, Mr. Thomas Bolden, to give the City of Detroit Award to Claressa Shields.
Should have been the key to the city, but okay.
Thank you, everyone. Felt like I just for 15 rounds myself, getting to the mayor's office and back here in 15 minutes. On behalf of Honorable Mayor Mike Duggan and Deputy Mayor Todd Beasley, unfortunately they wasn't able to make it this afternoon. They're at Mackinac Island, but they definitely sent their support and everything they can give behind Claressa on her fight and being a lone fighter in Detroit. Without overdue, I'd like to present her one of the historical awards that can be given out of Detroit for a fighter, especially fighting in an arena for the first time. We'd like to give this honorable award to Claressa Shields of Detroit.
That man said, I'm gonna do this award, take as many pictures as you can. Said I'm not a photographer. He tried it. He tried it.
It took 2 weeks to get all the words together, express and all the great fighting ability this young lady has. I spent countless hours in dissecting information on her fight style, her technique, and everything. And I also remember coming to her very first fight all the way to her most current fight as of Sam.
If you read the fine print, it says for 4 hours they close down every clothing store and you get to take whatever you want in Detroit.
There's so much to say that we wouldn't be able to begin to say some great wording in here, but we plan on showcasing some of it Saturday. It's a lot, and by the person, our writer, put it all in there. She had to condense it down because there's so much about this young lady. That's the only reason why we're not able to say all of this great words, but we will say it.
Okay. Thank y'all so much.
Did you get that picture?
Thank you, Maricela.
All right.
I forgot to say that when I was up there.
June 3rd, Big Time Boxing returns to Detroit. Doors open at 5 p.m. First fight at 6 p.m. Televised portion on the zone starts at 9 p.m. And we're going to have a great night of boxing. We look forward to seeing all of you there. Your ticket is going to be a collector's item, so buy it and save it. We'll take some questions from the audience.
Y'all too beautiful to be hitting each other.
Uh-oh. I'll be nice. Uh-oh. Stand up.
Hold on.
I'll just get a picture from you. I can't get a picture. I'm trying to hold this in.
Or they keep saying she was like the dudes on white shirts.
I think he's talking about some zoom in.
You know how?
I did, but I mean, how much more they want me to zoom in?
Oh.
Yeah. Zoom in.
Ooh, that's gonna be a good hair color. You can go.
She irritated. She irritated.
Bro, she play too much.
Mic him up, mic him up. You don't know what she
Attacking that shit.
I can't see you.
Yeah, I look cute, but I'm about that. Yeah, yeah, these my bells. Girl, this your house.
Ain't ever going nowhere. Your house? Your house?
All right, we'll take some questions from the press.
That's the hair on the look like a news anchor.
Buddy, any questions?
This hair on look like a news anchor.
She do.
Maricela, you've been listed as a 45-1 underdog in some betting things. Is this a real life Rocky movie, and does that affect you in any way, knowing that you're a big underdog?
Oh, she don't have no.
I'm gonna go put some money on myself right now.
Oh.
No, not at all. I knew coming into this fight. Come on, I mean, she has all the titles, you know. Like, I'm not dumb, but I know what I have to do, and I'm not gonna win by just one round either. What happened to Lomachenko? So, yeah.
Dang. I might get a camera person for this to record from now on.
Okay, we're gonna do some one-on-one. Thank you.
Personal interviews.
I think the press conference is on. Press conference.
Yeah.
They're going to do some.
So we can end this one.
I wouldn't. Is her battery dying?
It's yellow. I don't know how much she got.
Sasha. Just says I should get ready.
It is.